You know, we're in this amazing era where AI can feel like total magic for our documents. But, of course, with all that power comes a huge question. How do you keep your data safe? Today, we're going to go inside the digital fortress that one platform, Doc-Scribe.ai, has built to protect it.
And this really is the central question, isn't it? I mean, how can you embrace these incredibly powerful new tools when you're dealing with confidential contracts, private medical records, or top-secret research? And that's exactly the challenge we're going to dig into.
And right here, this is the core philosophy that kind of sets the stage for everything else. For Doc-Scribe.ai, security isn't some checkbox on a feature list. Nope, it's the absolute bedrock of the entire system.
So, how do you build a fortress like this? Well, it's not about building one single giant wall. The entire approach is what's called a layered defense, with multiple reinforcing layers of protection, and we're about to walk through them one by one.
Every great fortress starts with its bedrock, right? The foundational layer here is the infrastructure itself. And for this digital fortress, it's built on one of the most secure platforms in the entire world, Amazon Web Services.
Right off the bat, this is a massive deal for credibility. By building on AWS, the platform basically inherits a security posture that's already been battle-tested and approved by governments, major banks, some of the most security-obsessed organizations on the planet.
But it's not just about using AWS, it's about a really clear partnership. This is where something called the AWS Shared Responsibility Model comes into play, and it's a framework designed to make sure there are absolutely zero gaps in security.
The easiest way to think of it is like this. AWS takes care of the physical world, the concrete data centers, the guards, the global network. Then, Doc-Scribe.ai takes full responsibility for securing everything inside that environment, the application itself, all the configurations, and most importantly, your data.
Okay, so the foundation is solid. Now let's move inward to the protections built specifically around your documents. This is all about creating a private, personal fortress just for your data, making sure it's completely isolated and its integrity is guaranteed.
So this all kicks off with a concept called tenant isolation. And really the best way to picture it is that every single customer gets their own sealed, private vault. There are no shared shelves, no common hallways. It is total and complete separation. No exceptions.
And listen, this isn't just some marketing promise. It's a technical guarantee. It means there is literally no way for data to leak from one customer's vault to another. We're talking separation on every single level you can imagine. Storage, processing, you name it. It's absolute.
Now, what about protecting the document's history? That's where something called immutable versioning comes in. Instead of just overwriting old data when you make a change, the system creates a brand new permanent version. This gives you a perfect, unbroken chain of custody for every single file. So how do you prove none of those versions have been messed with? Well, the system uses what's called a cryptographic checksum. Think of it like a unique digital fingerprint for the file. And if even a single comma changes, just one tiny character, that fingerprint changes completely. It's mathematical proof that the document you're looking at is bit for bit identical to the one you uploaded.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the AI itself. This is where we tackle that core concern head-on, because the goal here is to frame the AI not as a risk, but as a totally secure and private guardian of your information. And this is probably the single most important promise for anyone even thinking about enterprise AI. It's a contractually binding guarantee, and it's built on two simple but incredibly powerful pillars: absolutely no training on your data and zero persistence of your conversations. So let's break that down. No training means your sensitive information, the questions you ask, and the answers the AI gives you are never, ever fed back into any model. Your data always remains your data. And zero persistence means those interactions are like a conversation that vanishes the second it's over. Poof! Nothing is logged, nothing is stored. So you might be asking, well, how does the AI find anything then? It does it by creating a private index of your documents, a knowledge base. But here's the crucial part. That knowledge base is created just for you in its own isolated environment, and it's protected by the exact same fortress-like security we've been talking about this whole time. Okay, so we've covered the infrastructure and the data itself. Now let's zoom back out and look at who actually gets in and how this entire system is verified by outside experts. This is all about the sentinels and the standards. The guiding principle for access is something called zero trust. It's a modern security model with a really simple but powerful rule. Trust no one by default. It doesn't matter if a request comes from inside the network or outside.
every single action has to be verified, every time.
And that verification process, it is incredibly robust. First, they use a special protocol where your password is never actually sent over the network, not even encrypted. That alone eliminates a huge risk. Second, your sessions are protected with secure digital keys that expire and change constantly. And of course, you've got enterprise-grade multi-factor authentication, adding that essential real-world check to your digital identity.
But look, you don't have to just take their word for any of this. This isn't just about an internal promise. It's about independent, third-party auditors who come in and verify the entire system against the world's toughest standards. And boom, here's the proof. Whether you're operating under GDPR in Europe, you need SOC 2 for financial controls, or you handle protected health information under HIPAA, the platform is built and audited to meet those very specific, very strict requirements.
And to top it all off, everything that happens, every single action, is recorded in a tamper-proof log. This gives companies complete transparency and makes sure they are always ready for an audit or any kind of forensic investigation. It really is about total accountability.
So, when you put all these pieces together, what you get is a truly holistic approach. From the physical foundation in an AWS data center to the encryption of your files, all the way to those ironclad guarantees around the AI. This is a framework designed to protect your data at every single stage of its life.
And really, that kind of leaves us with one big question to think about. As our AI tools get exponentially more powerful and woven into everything we do, the old ways of thinking about security just aren't going to cut it anymore. So the real question is your approach to security getting smarter right alongside your tools?